Sayla. I said I wasn't going to talk about this until I did a special astrological profile episode about Ali Kamani, but I lied. I really wanted to show you this. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you some astrological transits, share my perspective on what they might mean, but I want you to be the judge of perhaps what to make of all this. So what happened in the stars during 1953? August 15th, the beginning of a 4-day coup with the CIA and MI6 to take down a nation. Iran's crime, slightly siding with communism and not giving in to England's demands. Heinous. Anyway, what we want to look at is Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Libra. Neptune, as we know, is one of the slowest moving planets to orbit the sun. This is actually the chart of the 24th of June. Neptune and Saturn are conjunct in Aries. Once again, this is 1953. This was the very last time Neptune was in Libra since today, where now it's in Aries with Saturn. So now we have Neptune in Aries. It was in Libra, its opposite sign, 1953. But when was the last time it was in Aries before 1953? 1861, baby. Of course, we know America was going through its civil war while Persia was experiencing significant economic boom due to increased demand for cotton. And it was being run by this guy. Fast forward from 1861 to 1953, well, the CIA has overthrown yet another government. Basically, this man, who was actually fairly elected, was pretty much overthrown. Here is his chart for reference. We like to see the alien construct with Jupiter on his sun and Mars that was heavily aspected by the transiting Leo planets like Pluto during the 50s. And he was replaced by this guy, who I don't think was very liked because he was overthrown before. And as you can see, here is his chart. Now, what we want to really look at that is of utmost significance is the fact that he has an 8-degree Saturn in Virgo. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that, my mind was utterly blown, and I'll tell you why. Mainly, the Islamic Revolution of Iran that saw the overthrowing of that Shah happened right during his Saturn return at the exact same degree. Talk about a Saturn return. What's also interesting is that Saturn was in Libra in 53, went all the way around the zodiac, and then by 79, right before it went back to Libra, boom. Now, as we have established, the presence of Saturn and Neptune in Libra, of course, is highly significant concerning this coup. And you'd be just as surprised as I am to find out who also has a predominantly Libran chart. Former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, Sun, Moon, Uranus in Libra, and he was a very prominent figure towards this coup happening in Iran. Once again, I want to show you the correlation so far of the Sun, Moon, Libra with Pluto on the MC. What is that about? Can anyone break this down for me? For reference, here is the Sun and Moon Libra that rules Israel. And here is Pluto on the MC by a Sun Saturn Libra that rules Russia. There was no major point with that. I just thought that was a fun correlation. But as you can see, Sun, Moon, Libra. But let's actually look at Jupiter, 2 degrees Aquarius. Why is that significant? Because on the day of this coup, the North Node was transiting his Jupiter. I have no idea what that means. I just thought that was really cool that that was coinciding at the same time. But what I can say that I know is that this man, during his Saturn return, had to experience the end and fall of his regime, replaced, of course, by the revolutionary Islamist regime of Iran. And that brings me back to this individual right here. Because as you can see, he's about to have a Saturn return in a couple of years. And America looks like it's ready to enforce directly or indirectly another regime change. Comment your thoughts below. What do you think's gonna happen? And what do you feel about this all?